Hi there, I'm Eddie Matthews from the Stratford and District Chamber of Commerce. Businesses have been trying to adapt to an adjusted model since COVID started, and it's been a few years now of businesses having to shift gears. One person who's been looking at this is Bonnie Baynham, who's got a survey that's coming out, and basically it's how to conduct business with COVID and post-COVID. Hello, Bonnie.
Hi, Eddie. Thanks for having me.
Well, I'm glad to talk to you. And this is an interesting survey because I went and completed the survey. It's really quick and it's easy to do. And I would imagine I'll be getting some Ginsu knives or a bamboo steamer. Uh, it's a good survey, and it's got some good questions to it. What is this survey about, and can you give us an overview of it?
Yeah, I sure can. First of all, my name is Bonnie Baynham, and I'm the project lead for Be Well, Work Well here in Perth. So I work with Gateway Center of Excellence in Rural Health, who is a small little organization that does a lot of great work around education, research, and the development of resources for folks. So this is one of the first for Gateway survey that focuses on business, on the labor market. So let's see, last February, the government of Ontario provided us with some funds to explore, pardon me, the impact of COVID-19 mental health and substance use on the workforce. So the survey that we're doing is, like, as you mentioned, is a really quick 5-minute survey. And the purpose of it is to gather information from businesses of all sectors about the impact of COVID. How's it impacted our rural businesses, our rural manufacturers, agriculture, restaurants? We really want to hear the voices of local people because we recognize we just don't have that information, Eddie. I mean, it's just not out there for us to actually take a look at. And, hopefully take a look at it and then bring people together to look at what we can do.
Yeah, what do you hope to learn once you get everything compiled from the survey?
I guess that we really want to learn, hear the voices of folks who are working in here and in Perth counties. We want to know, what the impact really looks like. As you and I were talking about previously, Eddie, there's a lot of noise out there. There's lots of things about COVID and what's happening. We want to know locally what's happening, and there may be lots of similarities perhaps to some of our urban centers, but we want to know locally what's happening so that we can collaborate and work together with business and people who are out there working their tails off right now, just trying to kind of keep their heads above water. We want to know from the local people what the impact has been of COVID, and particularly taking a look at mental wellness in the workplace. We've been hearing a lot about mental health in the news. We want to know, with all of this COVID stuff, how is it impacting all of us, people who are working and the businesses. I mean, we probably have some assumptions that we can all make about the impact, but we really want to know with some solid data about what we can do next. Like, now what? We have that, COVID's hit, it's going to be here for a while. What are the experiences of local people, and how can we bring people together, like Chamber of Commerce, for example, to look at building resiliency and some recovery out of COVID?
Are you looking at a cross section, with different demographics, whether it be from age, with the genders, or is it just basically to put a face of business on the survey?
I think it's right across all of the demographics. We have some preliminary information that's come in. We're working really closely with the University of Guelph. I think that's really important because I'm certainly not a researcher, but we're working really closely with researchers from the University of Guelph. And you were looking at all of that, the demographics, gender. We really would love some men filling out these surveys. So far, we have predominantly women filling it out, which is fantastic. We certainly appreciate that, but we'd love to hear perspective of men in our survey. We have some targets with some of the sectors, hospitality for sure. We have not received anything yet from our manufacturers, agriculture, retail, right across all sectors, but with a real focus on the manufacturing, agriculture, retail, because
Yeah.
we just haven't
And
really targeted.
ironically, you haven't been receiving stuff about them, and that's probably the business that is crying for workers right now, because there's so much work out there for these people and just not enough staff.
Exactly. So, we hope that we'll partner with all different types of sectors. Like once we get our data together, we'll be sharing that far and wide across here in Perth counties in a variety of different ways, whether it's through radio, through Chamber of Commerce, through Zoom meetings. Hopefully we can get together at some point to share what we found out. And then to also have some focus groups where we'll bring people together that have an hour or so, bring people together to ask, to dive a little bit deeper into the data. And then we'll look at how we bring communities together to actually do something. I'm always interested in okay, so now what? We have all this information, what do we do?
Yeah, and that it gets used instead of just shuffled away, never to be seen again.
Yeah, I'm so committed to that.
Good.
I mean, nothing's
So-
worse than collecting dust,
Exactly. Hey, so how can we find out? How can we get people to fill out the survey?
It's so simple, but I'm gonna actually have to look at the website because, I'm older and can't remember these things. So simply people can go to gatewayruralhealth.ca and you can find the survey right on the main front page. That's
Okay.
it. Yeah.
And it's a very quick survey, so you can go and fill that out. And will you be releasing the findings afterwards?
We absolutely will. Absolutely. And if people are interested, they can certainly leave their questions or their contact information, and I'm happy to get back to anybody, but we'll be releasing it far and wide on that website and through all kinds of different mediums, I think.
Good stuff. Once again, give the website for good luck, okay?
Okay, gatewayruralhealth.ca.
Wonderful. Bonnie, great to talk to you, and I hope we'll talk to you in the near future. Maybe we'll talk about the findings afterwards, okay?
That'd be amazing. Thanks so much, Eddie. I really appreciate it.
Bonnie Baynham joining us. I'm Eddie Matthews from the Stratford and District Chamber of Commerce.